Now, phones at funerals are becoming a bit of a trend on social media sites like TikTok. Take a look. From making up dance routines, mourners twerking at graves, to pranks during the service, even selfies, actually. I think we've got one of a selfie coming up in just a sec. Selfies with the deceased. But is it just a bit of fun, or is it time to put the nail in the coffin, for want of a better phrase, and ban social media at funerals? What do you think, Denise?
Sorry, I'm just a bit taken aback by some of them. If it's done as a craze to get likes on TikTok, then no. But I suppose I have to look back to my dad's celebration of life, which when people who were there talk about it today, they say, well, at your dad's party, oh, God, I'm so sorry. And I go, no, please, that's exactly what we want it to be remembered as. When he died, Matthew said, Mum, we've got to give Grandpa a send-off that would make him jealous that he wasn't there. So I wanted it to be a party. And I remember when I shared that picture of us all in colour and all dressed up, thinking, oh, how will that be received? And I'm not normally a sort of social media people pleaser, but I didn't want my dad's death to be sort of denigrated in any way. But actually, it was received wonderfully. There was also then a photograph, which I think I gave to the guys today. And we had my dad buried in a pink glitter coffin. And all of the pallbearers...
there they
are.
No.
It doesn't look as pink as it was vibrant. And they all wore the opera suits that, if you remember, my dad sort of made famous on here by always wearing them. Yeah. And so it was a wonderful day. My friend Louis Hoover came and did Frank Sinatra, and it was wonderful. And everybody took selfies and people shared. And
but it wouldn't necessarily be to everyone's taste, which is why you were a bit worried about.
But what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't have done a TikTok dance beside my dad's casket and then put that on social media.
So the reason I have a difficulty with sort of reactions to a lot of the sort of TikToking dancing at funerals that we have there is, for a lot of communities and a lot of cultures, that is normal. So dancing at funerals being normal, and look around the world, you've got those professional pallbearers in Ghana where they dance whilst holding the casket. You know, if you saw that on the streets in a very English village somewhere here, and someone saw that, they'd just be horrified that was happening.
Most of those clips look like they're abroad.
Yeah,
so very sunny.
Yeah, so you know, say it was in America, a lot of the culture, especially in southern states in America, that kind of dancing around caskets and what have you, that is all very normal. You know, you've got places like in, I think it's Madagascar, where they actually dig up the corpse, make it look nice, and the family dances with the corpse all night as part of a tradition. So I think that when you have traditions that are then uploaded online, to those of us who are outside of that culture, it may well seem like the most disgusting thing in the world, but culturally, when you're in that environment, it's very normal.
But the one at the end of the girl kind of
coquettishly posing,
doesn't look cultural to me.
And that also it could be that you don't know what the relationship was with the man.
No, but the picture looks more about her than it is about paying respect to the person that's lying in the coffin. I mean, my grandmother, similar to what you're describing, culturally, it was a celebration of life.
It's a party.
It was a party. It was brilliant. We were all dancing. The music was all uplifting. It was brilliant. But I just think there's a line of respect. For me, personally, these are just my personal views. You know, I've seen, like, twerking where I think, like, where you've straddled over the coffin. I just think it's a bit... For me, it's just one step too far. For example, like...
What?
Yeah. I think that's like one step too far for me personally.
So is the act one step too far, or posting it one step too far? Because I assume...
I can't see culturally why that would be...
But you don't know what the relationship... You know, there are other people there. It's not like they've suddenly broken into a funeral home and decided to do that. They're doing it in front of other people. So, respectfully, perhaps that works well within that family, and maybe it's a dancer that's in the grave, and maybe... I know that...
But a lot of people see... I get it.
And for a lot of people, twerking is seen as something that's very sexualised. But again, culturally, I can go to Carnival in Trinidad, for example, where those dances are not sexual in any shape or form. They are traditions. So it's down to one person's sexualisation is not another.
Yeah, but not over a coffin or a funeral. That's just me. That's my personal preference.
And I think as well, because we don't know anything about the background of those particular videos, so we don't know whether the family and the deceased's family were complicit in it.
And support that,
what I wouldn't want is somebody to have hijacked say, for example, my dad and posted something that I felt was inappropriate. But I encouraged people to take photos and celebrate and celebrate the day, and I'm very proud. And I mean, you know, to be honest, my dad would have loved somebody to twerk over him. You know, let's be perfectly honest. Anybody who knew Vin would have absolutely he would have loved that. So there you go.
Oh, I really wish I'd met your dad.
I know. I know I do.